What is going on, guys? I am MC Fixer and welcome to episode 8 of Lunchtime with Fix, which is our weekly news show where we go over all things going on in the gaming industry, movie industry, and on the internet, obviously world news and stuff. The whole point of this show was made to talk about things that I miss usually while I'm streaming here live on twitch.tv/mcfixer. Remember, if you want to get this show as a VOD, you can currently get it on youtube.com/mcfixer. Who knows for how much longer? Jokes aside. Remember, this show only happens because of you guys, because of people subscribing on Twitch, people who are watching on Twitch, and obviously, most importantly, people who support on patreon.com/mcfixer. You'll hear about that a bit later. Again, usually get the show live at 1 o'clock GMT. We've gone a little bit early today due to the nature of what's happening in the world right now, and I had to go live an hour earlier, so that is why. Apologies. But remember, if you watch on YouTube, subscribe and watch the show. I actually need that right now. Subscribe and watch the show. And I think that's where we'll jump straight into our first news story today. I'm going to preface this with I woke up this morning, like I do every day of the week, being a full-time content creator. I woke up and was like, okay, here we go. And I got out of bed, I got ready, doing what I'm doing, just doing my usual routine. And then boom, I've got this email. I'm like, all right, cool, check my Gmail. I don't check my Gmail that often. And it read a little something like this. MC Fixer. Today, we are announcing changes to the YouTube Partner Program, the YPP. While our goals remain to keep the YPP open to as many channels as possible, we recognise we need to do more safeguarding in places to protect creators' revenue across YouTube ecosystem. So what's changing? Under the new eligibility requirements announced today, your YouTube channel MC Fixer is no longer eligible for monetization because it does not meet the new threshold of 4K hours watch time within 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. As a result, your channel will lose access to all monetization tools and features associated with a YouTube Partner Program. On February 20th, 2018, unless you surpass this threshold in the next 30 days, although this email serves a 30-day notice that the YouTube Partner Program terms are terminated. One of the YouTube's core values is to provide anyone the opportunity to earn money from a thriving channel. Creators who haven't yet reached this new threshold can continue to benefit from the Creators Academy or our Help Center and all resources on the creator site to grow their channel. Once your channel reaches the new threshold, it will be reviewed to make sure it adheres to our policy guidelines, and if so, monetization will be re-enabled. So that's the email I woke up to today. That is literally it. So I woke up to hearing that my YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcfixer, that has over 2,800 subscribers, doesn't have the 4K watch time currently. Over the past 12 months, I think I don't know how, honestly, but whatever. This is something that I have been trying to build for the last 2 years. Properly 2 years. This is something that I work at daily. This is something that I put a lot of time, effort, care, and have built a whole audience around. This is somewhere I put out podcasts, where I put out gameplay videos, where I put out opinion pieces, where I put out tons of stuff. And that has been shown to me today from YouTube that they just don't care. They don't care about my little tiny audience. They don't care about my channel. They don't care about my well-being. They just don't care. This is heartbreaking for me. This is heartbreaking for me on so many levels. And people are just like, oh, you're just moaning because you're not going to get money. It's like, I didn't make that much money from YouTube anyway. So, like, not really the biggest deal ever, in all honesty, when it comes to just money. Just money. It does play a key factor, but it's not the only factor. For me, I knew that I was going in the right direction. I knew that my subscribers has been on the up, my watch time's been on the up, the content I'm making has been on the up. 2018 so far for me, content-wise, has been the best. I started this show, Lunchtime with Fix, to go out as a VOD on the channel as well to help, obviously, growth and stuff like that. And everything's been going up, and everything's been working, and we're building, and we're working hard. And then you get this email. Then you get this email, which just says, we don't care. And that's honestly, that's how I read it. I do. I read it as, you are not Logan Paul. You are not PewDiePie. You are not Jimmy Fallon. You are not whoever. Insert YouTuber here that is big. You are not these people, so we just don't care anymore. For me, YouTube was all about the little guy. Was all about expressing yourself. Was all about, if you can build a following behind you, no matter how big or small, we will give you the opportunity. And I guess that's not the case anymore. For me, I find it quite funny because for me, I remember when I started YouTube. I remember when I started a thing called Patreon. Patreon.com/MCFixer. Now, I need to make this perfectly clear. When I launched my Patreon, I remember people saying to me, we're going to support you, we've got you, Fixer, da-da-da-da-da-da. And it never came to fruition, unfortunately. That's neither here or there for this topic. But I remember when I launched my Patreon, and I remember people on YouTube hated me for it. A large portion of my audience hated me for it. You're greedy, you don't need this, you do whatever. And I knew something was coming. Back then. 2 years ago this was. I knew something was up. Something wasn't right. I was never going to be able to make a living on a small scale that I was through just YouTube. Hence why you have to have merchandise and be a Twitch streamer as well, so you can have subscribers. You have a donation button, so you can get donations. You have a Patreon, so you can hopefully give people content that way. For me, being a content creator is more than just YouTube. And if that wasn't your plan, then I feel sorry for you. I really do. If you're watching this right now, and your plan was, I'm going to be a YouTuber. Good luck. Good luck. Because you don't get the growth you used to on YouTube. It just doesn't happen anymore. Like that. I am so disappointed in this. I'm so disappointed in YouTube. I am at a place right now where I don't know what I'm going to do personally as a content creator. I'm going to keep pushing Patreon, which is patreon.com/MCFixer. Again, I've said this time and time again, if you're not supporting, but you want to still see me make content, I need you to go over there. Drop $2, drop $3, drop a $5 or whatever it may be. I need you to go over there and support. Because without your support, I can no longer do this. YouTube is proving that. My idea was never to become huge. My idea was always to stay small, niche, unique, and just care about the guys that care about me. And I can only do that with the support with you guys through Patreon. There's more to this, and we'll carry on reading. We'll head over to BBC, where they talk about the new tough advertising payment rules. Sorry. YouTube is introducing tougher requirements for video publishers who want to make money from its platform. In addition, it has said staff will manually review all clips before they are added to the Premiere service that pairs big brand advertisers with popular content. The moves forward a series of advertisers' boycotts and controversial vlogs that featured an apparent suicide victim. One can expect blah 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 blah. these are the new requirements. The first part of the new strategy involves a strict requirement that publishers must fulfill before they can make money on their uploads. Clips will no longer have avatars attached to them unless the publisher meets two requirements: that they have at least 1,000 subscribers, more than 4K hours of their content viewed by others within the past 12 months. YouTubers said this represents a higher standard than previous requirements of the 10K lifetime views, which was introduced 9 months ago. 9 months ago, Jesus. So that is where we're at for people looking to try and understand what the hell's going on. 1,000 subscribers and 4K hours of their content viewed. I'll be honest with you, just like riffing off of this story, I'll be honest with you. I was totally surprised I got this email. I've got over 2,000 subscribers, and I thought my watch time was above what it was. So I'm extremely surprised that I got this, but that's neither here nor there. I'd really love to hear what you guys think in the Twitch chat, and obviously YouTubers, you people watching right now. What do you guys think? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Does this limit you as a creator? Are you now like there's an uphill battle, obviously, to get noticed on YouTube first of all, but just to know that YouTube is not there to support the little guy anymore. Does that influence you in any way? Does that upset you in any way? Does that make you feel a type of way? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear. So, obviously, yeah. Dan says, I got ideas, bruh. Maybe for a private message, though. Alright, hit me up, Dan. Hit me up. I'd appreciate it. Moving on from this YouTube drama. Sony reveals new limited edition Monster Hunter World PS4 bundle. This one is from Eurogamer. Sony has revealed a new limited edition Monster Hunter World PS4 Pro bundle, complete with custom console and controller, due to release on January 26th. The console itself is a 1TB PS4 Pro. You can see the style right here. It's got a matte gloss finish to it, and it's quite interesting. That is a very, very, very good looking PS4. Very good looking PS4. So, keep your eyes out for that. If you're looking, this is what the controller looks like a little bit more in depth. I love the look of this. I'm not going to lie. Red is my favourite colour. The red and gold looks beautiful. The black and... Oh, that's sexy. That's sexy. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's sexy. I won't be picking that up just because... I've never played a Monster Hunter game in my life, but very good looking console. I feel like they finally nailed it. Xbox was kicking their ass for a while with like the custom controllers and custom consoles. Obviously, they had that really whack Destiny one. They've had some really bad PlayStation ones. They've had some really good ones as well. Remember the Star Wars one looking pretty good. But that is beautiful. So super interested in that. Moving on. A little video game you may have heard of called Final Fantasy 15 has just released a new trailer for it for some new information. So let's sit down and watch it together, shall we? I love Final Fantasy 15. Such a great game. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with it. Ultimate quality. Why'd they show her when they said ultimate quality? "4K high resolution textures." NVIDIA True Effect. New grass, guys. We're getting new grass. Advanced shadows. First person camera mode? Interesting. That's interesting. I bet that looks amazing when you're walking around and stuff. Windows Edition. Coming to Windows 10, Steam, and Origin. Coming 6th of March. So this is the PC version of, obviously, Final Fantasy 15. Windows Edition is coming. Get hyped. That looks really good. Obviously, I love Final Fantasy 15. It was the first Final Fantasy game I ever actually finished, which is a crime on me, I know. I want to really go back and play Final Fantasy like 7, 8. I've heard 9's good, but I never really clicked with 9. I want to do 7 and 8, definitely. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. I love Final Fantasy. Great game. Great game. What am I got going on in the chat right now? I still haven't got back to it, but I will. You definitely should, Dan. Xbox Stu says, played an hour. I'll try again. Having to camp at night put me off. You get past that, I promise. That's not really, it's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. And, interesting. Moving on. Lego's Incredibles DC Comic Villains game in development. This one is, again, from Eurogamer. Eurogamer killing it right now. Lego games themed around Pixar's The Incredibles 2 and the DC roster of comic book villains are both in development at TT Games. Word of the titles first broke yesterday on comicbook.com. Eurogamer has subsequently heard from its own source that the report is accurate. Both games are expected to arrive this year, which will of course also see the release of The Incredibles 2 in June. Physical Lego sets for The Incredibles 2 are due to launch around the same time. Eurogamer sources close to the studio indicated the game will cover the story of both incredible films and include more than a few nods to other famous Pixar franchises. In its first Lego video game, it will be the first video game based around a Pixar franchise, although not the first Lego Disney game. Lego's The Pirates of the Caribbean was great. Lego Star Wars, The Force Awakens was good, but a bit thin in source material. So new games coming from TT Games. I actually got to meet these guys at Comic-Con one year. Really great guys. Doing great work, of course. But I'm all for this. I love The Incredibles. And hopefully I can get drag Haley in and we can play this one together. So I'm super interested. Super interested. Next piece of news we got here is a screenshot on the up-and-coming game Shenmue 3. People are going a bit nuts about this because Shenmue and people like Shenmue. Cool. Screenshot from Shenmue 3. Get hyped. That's all I got for you for this one. I'm sorry. Nothing else I can really say on the matter, unfortunately. Next piece of news we got is about Dragon Ball FighterZ. Bandai Namco US tweeted out, as promised, we are back with info on the additional open beta test. With improvements, the experience. Open beta starts January 17th, 2018 at 9 PM PST and ends January 18th, 2018 at 9 PM PST. 24 hours. We look again forward to seeing you online once again. So Dragon Ball FighterZ beta was a bit of a stumbling block for them, I would say. It didn't run as smoothly, obviously, as they were hoping. The things I've heard about the game so far is I didn't play it myself, but I've heard good things. I heard the game ran obviously it ran poorly during the beta, but the game itself was good fun. People seem to enjoy it. The art style is amazing from what I've seen. I'm just not a fighting game guy, so for me, I just do not see the point in jumping in when I'm not a Dragon Ball Z guy, and I'm not a fighting game guy. Both of them together, what's the point? For MC Fixer. But what does he know? He's a loser. YouTube don't even like him. Next piece of news. Assassin's Creed Origins Egyptian Mummy expansion arrives March with big level cap boost. Ubisoft has laid out its full timetable of expansions for the Assassin's Creed Origins, which are due to launch over the next few months. First up, the Hidden Ones, a 10 years later story epilogue to Origin's main campaign set in a new region, the Rome occupier Sinna. It arrives next Tuesday, the 23rd of January. Next will be Discovery Tour Origins. It's the educational living museum mode, which will be available to explore for free from the 20th of February. I'm really interested in that mode itself due to the fact that obviously my fiance is a teacher, and I was talking to her about, like, obviously I don't think she would be allowed to due to it being a video game, but one day will there be a time where you can take a video game into schools, obviously, and be like, this is what Egypt's like. And I see a big component of this being VR, but I feel like Assassin's Creed have done such a great job. I speak about it so much on the My Xbox and Me podcast about how that game is a living, breathing world, and it gave me such a deep love for Egyptian culture and Egyptian people, and just wanting to learn more and eat up the culture. And this discovery mode would be awesome to teach kids this is what Egypt was actually like, especially if they could do it in VR. I feel like that would be amazing. Back to this one. And finally, The Curse of the Pharaohs, which launches 6th of March. The expansion is an Egyptian mythology Rome featuring undead pharaohs and Egyptian beasts. Set in a new region, the Valley of King, this DLC will see a big level cap increase, up 10 levels to 55. The Hidden Ones was previously announced to the only boost to the cap, just 5 levels from 40 to 45. So tons of Assassin's Creed coming. I personally have not had the chance to get back to where I want to with Assassin's Creed. Love the game, think it's amazing, but not been able to dive in deep with it on the side quest front. I did the main story, love it, love the world and everything. Was probably one of my game of the years. Definitely up there with Cuphead and Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda, and I could go on. Just last year was such a great year for games. But yeah, more Assassin's Creed. I'm thinking I might try and pick up this season pass so I can get all of that, because I do want to still live in that world and I do want to carry on playing it. So we shall see. Next story comes from WCCFtech.com, and it's all about Remedy. Remedy, the traditional AAA single-player experience is really expensive to make. Costs went up 10 times. Remedy Entertainment is moving away from the traditional AAA player experience, though they vow to retain their trademark, focusing on storytelling. Their next game, codenamed P7 and published by 505, will have a cooperative multiplayer element to try and enhance replayability. We've known as much for a while, but Remedy head of communications Thomas Pua revealed a bit more on this shift in the interview, publishing today on GameIndustry.biz. In particular, he noticed that the cost of the AAA single-player experience, like Alan Wake or Quantum Break, have gone up tenfold, while its audience still exactly the same. Quote, "The reality is the traditional AAA player experience is just really expensive to make. The expectations level from games is really high in terms of how long the game is, what sort of features it has, how good the production values are. All of those things are very expensive to do. And if you go back 10 years, you could still say the same console market is roughly the same size in the end. The audience you're selling to is relevant the same size, but the cost of the game has gone up tenfold these days, so that is obviously problematic." I personally love Remedy games. I love Alan Wake. I love Quantum Break. I love Max Payne, obviously. This is such a hard story to read, that they're moving away from what I personally think made Remedy special, was their obviously their deep storytelling and amazing gameplay. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. Obviously, games cost more to make nowadays, and obviously a single-player game, you buy it once, it's done. Obviously, and especially the Remedy-type game, there was no microtransactions, there was no skins, there was no real DLC. I think Alan Wake had DLC, but I know Quantum Break definitely didn't. To be fair, Quantum Break probably did cost a lot of money because it had a TV show integrated in with the game, so that's a hard one. But I'm sad to hear this, but there's some more to go on anyway. From a creative perspective, even when we made Alan Wake, it was like we spent all this time creating the character, the universe, the rules, and everything. It's a place where you wanted the players to spend a long period of time, and that's hard to do in a traditional single-player space. So does this mean no Alan Wake 2? That's sad if that's the case, man. That's sad if that's the case. Obviously, we know 505's publishing their next game. I want them to do well. I love Remedy. I love the studio. They make great games. Personally, I know in chat, Mr. Moody Sam, it doesn't help that their last game sucked. Definitely disagree. But Xbox still saying Quantum Break was good. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. Next piece of news. New Xbox controller image leaked. Microsoft first introduced the Xbox Elite wireless controller back in the E3 2015. The price was $149. The controller had interchangeable pedals around the back, hair trigger locks, remap buttons, and completely swapped components. It's been a popular choice for the Xbox gamers and even PC players who occasionally want to use the controller. And now it looks like a second version is on its way. Several images have been posted on a Chinese site, Bandu, that appears to show a second version of the Xbox Elite controller. An anonymous post claims the new version will include a USB-C port for charging, Bluetooth support for the Windows 10, 3-level hair trigger locks, longer key travels for pads, and a free profile switch. The images that obviously we're seeing on screen right now, the images also show what appears to be an adjustable tension mechanics for the thumbsticks. Microsoft filed a patent in December with an adjustable lock design for the thumbsticks, and the images match the exact design along 3 LEDs that could indicate battery life or the extra profile support. Well. I have been speaking for a while about how much I love... I played with an Elite controller. I do not own one just due to the fact they cost a lot of money, and I've already got 4 controllers. I probably don't need an Elite as well. I want one, and I'm so happy I haven't got one right now. If this is the case, if they're going to bring out a new design one with Bluetooth built in, and because I was going to buy a Bluetooth adapter, which was £20, glad I haven't. If they're going to have one that's charged with no batteries, oh my god, yes. I'm super in. This is awesome. I would love to buy this, depending on the price. I hope it's the same price, $149, due to the fact that that's still expensive for a controller. But I'm all about that. I'm all about that. Next piece of news comes from Major Nelson on Twitter, and he says some great games being added to Xbox Game Pass library next month. Full list will be posted tomorrow, but here's a sneak peek. And as you can see in the image, NBA 2K17 and WWE 2K17. Now, NBA 2K17 was a game I didn't bother with. I played 16, I didn't play 17. I loved the NBA 2K games, and I skipped 18 due to the microtransaction debacle, unfortunately, this time around. But I am so happy I can play this on Game Pass. WWE 2K17, another game I skipped due to the fact that 16 was so bad. I can go and play this with my Xbox Game Pass, and I cannot wait, personally. I've got no problems with this, and I can't wait to see the full list of games that they put in here. Next story, we're back to talking about Fable, boys and girls. Eurogamer's got it, and sources from Microsoft plot Fable return. Work is underway on a brand new big budget Fable game, Eurogamer can reveal. Fable's franchise owner Microsoft has tasked UK developer Playground, which makes the Forza Horizon games for Xbox and PC, with creating this new Fable. Sources close to the project have told Eurogamer, Microsoft said in a statement that it does not comment on rumour or speculation. We've heard the new Fable is planned as a story and character-focused open-world action RPG. A significant investment in its development is also planned, with some 200 people set to be working on the game at Playground, newly established second studio in Leamington Spa, Warwickshire. Don't expect to play this new Fable anytime soon, however. We've heard it's early days in terms of development, with Playground currently staffing up the team from double digits to triple digits targets. Microsoft's decision to return to the much-loved fantasy world of Albion comes less than 2 years after it shut down Fable creator Lionhead and cancelled Fable Legends. Fable Legends, unlike previous Fable games, was designed as a free-to-play game, as a game as service, with heavy focus on multiplayer. For how it went down, click the Eurogame story. More Fable! Come on! Yes. It's happening. It's happening. I cannot wait. I love the Fable series. I love 2 and 3. Never actually got around to playing 1, so maybe I will. If they bring it to Game Pass or something like that. I love Fable. I love 2 and 3. It was such great games that were ahead of their time. Yes. It's going to be at E3 this year? Definitely not. I don't think we see anything at E3 this year. But I cannot wait. Playground working on it as well. That's where I get a little bit shaky. I just don't know how to feel about that. Especially with, obviously, they make great open worlds with Fable, with the Forza Horizon series, but can they do the action RPG part? I think the RPG part they have done, but the action part is what I worry about. But we shall see. I'm super excited and cannot wait for this. Like, this is going to be super awesome, and I really do look forward to it. I really do. Next piece of news is all about Nintendo and. Nintendo Switch announced tonight to reveal new interactive experience. Nintendo is prepping a big Nintendo Switch announcement at 10 PM UK time. A new interactive experience for Nintendo Switch will be revealed, specifically crafted for kids, those who are kids at heart. Nintendo President Tahushi Kamishima, I apologise for butchering the name, recently emphasised how important growing the Switch audience was to the console's second year, and critically to the console now that it needed to attract an audience who were not already core gamers. Quote, in order to be playable in the long term, the second year is critical, is the quote. Our task is to add more users, including people who barely touch game consoles. So, we are going to get an announcement 10 PM UK time tonight. I will be recording a podcast with Mike Lynch, so we'll have to see this news tomorrow morning and we'll talk about it on this very show, all about that. Let's have a look. Last but not least, so movie news. Flash standalone film gets Vacation directors John Francis and Daily Jonathan Goldstein. Warner Bros. Is reportedly tapping 2 comedy directors to helm the Flash standalone film Flashpoint. Variety reports Vacation directors John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein are in terms to helm the film, with Warner Bros. Seemingly eyeing a more comedic tone for Flashpoint. Joby Harold has turned into the latest draft for the movie after a reported page 1 rewrite. The studio also reportedly wanted Ben Affleck to direct, but he passed on the project. So they're going to go for the... I feel like Flashpoint is going to be the Ant-Man of the Disney films. They're going to try and go for like the comedic undertone, not serious, not scary, not crazy. Vacation sucked, said Mr. Moody. I quite enjoyed Vacation. But me and you do not agree on movies because you have bad taste in films, Moody. But yeah, I'm just interested to see how this will go. I'm interested to see if we can enjoy it. I didn't dislike the Flash in Justice League, but I didn't love him. So I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know. Thank you all for watching. Of course, very importantly, that if you are watching on YouTube, hit subscribe, watch the video, like it, drop a comment, obviously. I think this is kind of hard, but it's the most important thing to say, especially with everything that's going on in YouTube. They have now demonetized me. I no longer make money off of YouTube videos. So if you can, please, I beg you, like seriously, if you want to keep watching me stream, if you want to keep watching me make YouTube YouTube content, if you want to see me on Twitch still, if you want me to keep doing this, please head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. That is it. There's nothing more to it. I cannot say anything more. There's nothing more important than that right now. Is getting my audience that watch me here on Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Snapchat, or wherever. I need to get you guys over to Patreon and trying to support if you want to keep doing this. If you don't, I totally get it. But that is my only chance now. Until then, I will love you, leave you. See you all later. Be safe, everybody. Guten Tag.